What's up, y'all? What's good? My name is Reverend D. Fish King, and welcome to Powerful Moments Podcast. I'm your host, and welcome. I ain't gonna waste y'all time. We're gonna talk about the difference between a real leader and a fake leader, including signs you're meant to be a leader. So let's start. Let's go in. Let's tell you the I'm gonna go deeper into the mindset, behavior, and the impact. So one, motivation and purpose. A real leader is driven by a desire to serve, to uplift others, to create meaningful impact. They often have a clear vision rooted in purpose that benefits the collective, not just themselves. They are motivated by long-term legacy, growth, and responsibility. A fake leader, on the other hand, is primarily motivated by ego, power, status, or control. Their decisions often center around self promotion or personal gain. They may put on a show of leadership but lack genuine concern for the people or mission they claim to lead. The second one is integrity and consistency. So, for integrity and consistency for a real leaders have a strong moral compass. Their actions align with their words. They take accountability when things go wrong and are consistent in their values, regardless of who's watching. You can trust that what they say in private matches what they say in public. A fake leader, on the other hand, they are inconsistent and manipulative. They often shift their values to fit their audience or situation. They may lie, blame others, or cover up mistakes to preserve their image. They lead from insecurity and rather than conviction. For service versus control, a leader is to empower others. A leader is ready to empower them. They're not afraid to delegate, mentor, or share the spotlight. They cultivate an environment where others can thrive, even if it means others outshine them. Their goal is to multiply leadership, not hoard it. A fake leader, on the other hand, a fake leader is very controlling. They're controlling and territorial. They fear being overshadowed and tend to micromanage or suppress others' talents. Instead of building a team, they build followers, people who are dependent on their approval. For reaction to pressure, for a real leader that is under pressure, a real leader becomes calmer and more focused. They lean into problems. They face adversity head on, and they prioritize solutions over blame. They show emotional maturity, resilience, and wisdom. For a fake teacher, on the other hand, they often fall apart under pressure. They react with fear, defensiveness, or anger. They avoid accountability and may scapegoat others to protect their image. Their leadership fails when things are not going well. For focus on people versus image. For a real leader, people are at the heart of a real leader's mission. They listen actively, lead with empathy, and genuinely care about their team's well-being. They create a culture of trust, collaboration, and respect. A fake leader, on the other hand, they are obsessed with optics. They are more concerned with how they look than how people feel. They perform leadership rather than live it, posting online or giving speeches but failing to support people in real life situations. For adaptability and growth, for a real leader is humble enough to admit that when they're wrong. They seek feedback, they invest in personal development, and evolve over time. They view learning as part of a leadership, not a threat to it. For a fake leaders, they pretend to know everything. They resist change, ignore feedback, and often see correction as criticism. They fear being exposed, so they stay stuck in an outdated or toxic patterns. For legacy and impact, a real leader is leave behind empowered individuals, strong systems, and long-term process progress. I meant to say, their influence often continues long after they're gone because they've built others up along the way. For a fake leader often leave behind confusion, dysfunction, and mistrust. When they're gone, things fall apart because your leadership was built on control, not empowerment. So in summary, the quality is motivation, and the real leader has service and vision. A fake leader has ego and power. For integrity, the quality is integrity, and for a real leader is honest and consistent, but a fake leader is dishonest and inconsistent. For the quality for people, a real leader they empower people. A fake leader they control others. A real leader is calm and resilient, and a fake leader is defensive and reactive. A real leader is people centered, which is to have a focus. That's the quality. For focus for a real leader, people centered. I meant to say, and a fake leader is image driven. For growth, the quality is growth. For a real leader, they admit their mistakes and they learn from it. For the fake leader, they ignore feedback and stay stagnant. And for a real leader who has legacy, they leave impact and strong teams. But for a fake leader, they leave chaos and mistrust. They do. So I hope this has helped you in ways, to be honest with you. If this has helped you in ways to know about the difference between a real leader versus a fake one, I hope this has helped you. If you like what you hear, make sure to drop a thumbs up. Make sure to give this episode a thumbs up. And also, if you have any questions, comments you want to ask, if you have any questions, comments, and you need more details on this, make sure to leave a comment below, and also give this episode a thumbs up. So let's go into the signs that you're meant to be a leader. So I'm going to give, as I said, I'm going to do the traits, the tendencies, and the behaviors that show how leadership runs in DNA, even if you're still discovering it. So here are the signs. And I'm going to do it in categories. For personal traits, you take initiative. You step up before being asked. The second thing that you're meant to be a leader, you think long term. You see beyond the moment and plan for the future. For the next one is you remain calm under pressure. Crisis doesn't shake you, it sharpens you. The next sign is you're self-motivated. You don't wait for permission to pursue excellence. You don't. You don't wait for the permission, you just do it. The next sign is you have a strong sense of purpose. You feel you're here for something bigger than yourself. The next sign you need to look for is you embrace responsibility. You don't shy away from accountability. You don't shy away from it. The next sign is you're emotionally intelligent. You understand and manage emotions well, your own and others. The next sign you need to look for is you bounce back from failure. Setbacks, they teach you. They don't stop you. The next sign you need to look for is you lead by example. You walk the talk consistently. The next sign you need to look for is you think critically. You don't accept things at face value. You analyze, question, and you improve. The next category in science we're gonna do is relational skills. The sign you need to look for is people naturally come to you for advice. Others trust your judgment. The next sign is you're a good listener. You make people feel heard and valued. The next sign you need to look for is you care deeply about others' success. You want others to rise with you. The next sign you need to look for is you handle conflict with maturity. You don't run from it, you solve it. The next sign you need to look for is you can unify diverse personalities. You know how to bring people together. The next sign is you value feedback. You see correction as a tool, not an attack. The next sign you need to look for is you're comfortable with giving feedback. You correct with grace, not ego. The next sign you are meant to be a leader is you naturally mentor or coach others. You point to people without needing recognition. The next sign you need to look for is you inspire others. Your words and actions, they motivate people to grow. The next sign is you can stand alone. You don't need the crowd to do what's right. The next category in signs is work ethic and drive. You're not afraid of hard work. You do what needs to be done, even when it's tough. The next sign is you consistently go the extra mile. Excellence is your standard. The next sign is you set high expectations for yourself and those around you. The next sign you need to look forward to in order to know that you're meant to be a leader is your solutions focus. You look for ways forward, not excuses. The next sign is you can make tough decisions even when they're unpopular. The next sign is you're disciplined. You choose consistency over comfort. You're organized. You think in system and structure. You're strategic. You don't just act. You plan your moves with vision. You can see potential others don't. I'm going to say that again. You can see potential in other. You can see potential. I meant to say it this way. You can see potential, but others don't. That's what I meant to put it in. Yeah, because I know you guys are going to be confused. So I could let you guys understand. So in people, in situations, there are opportunities. The next sign is you follow through. Your word is your bond. The next category is mindset and character. And here's more signs. Here's some more signs under this part here. You value integrity above popularity. You're doing what's right matters more than being liked. Your own mistakes. You don't pass the blame. You don't blame anybody. You're consistently learning with books, mentors, experiences. You seek growth. The next sign you're meant to be a leader is you're adaptable. Change doesn't scare you, it fuels you. The next sign is you're humble. You don't need to prove you're in charge. The next sign is you stand up for others, especially those who can't defend themselves. The next sign is you can admit when you don't know something. You seek wisdom, not image. The next sign is you don't need titles to lead. You don't. You don't need titles to lead. You influence from any position. The next sign is you protect your team. You take responsibility when things go wrong and share the glory when they go right. The next sign you need to look for in order to know that you're a leader is you don't let fear control your decisions. You move forward even when it's comfortable. That's what you do. You move forward even when it's uncomfortable. The next sign is in the different category is spiritual and purpose-driven signs. So here are some signs. You feel chosen or called. You sense a divine assignment on your life. You have a burden for people. You feel responsible for others' growth or well-being. The next sign is you feel frustrated by injustice. You can't stay silent when something's wrong. The next sign is you're passionate about making a difference. You want to change the world, not just live in it. The next sign is you're not satisfied with average. You crave meaningful impact. You pray or seek guidance before making major decisions. Meaning you lead from a spiritual foundation. The next sign you need to look for is you feel energized when helping others succeed. Their growth fuels your own. And the next sign is you believe in legacy. You don't want to leave something that outlives you. And the other sign is you see leadership as stewardship, not ownership, not a responsibility to serve. And the last sign you need to know that you are meant to be a leader is you're willing to be the first to break the mold. You pioneer even when it's hard. So that is all the signs you need to look for. All the signs. And also here's what I'm going to do for you. And I'm going to create a short ebook and give you guys assigns on it. So I'm going to be doing a short ebook, and that will be coming out sometime this week. Alright guys, that's about it. And also, if this applies to you, if you see all the signs, I come to tell you this: you are meant to lead, my friend. You are meant to lead. You're meant to lead. So if you see one or multiple signs, yeah, you're meant to lead, my friend. Alright guys, as I said, if you made it at the end of the episode, thank you so much for making it at the end of the episode. And also make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like what you hear. If you see all the signs, you know what to do. And if this helps you with knowing about, to know if you're meant to lead, I hope this has helped you anyways. Drop a comment below, let me know if you're meant to be a leader. And yeah, let's talk. Alright guys, thank you so much for listening and watching the episode. And don't forget, if you need any assistance in anything, if you want my coaching sessions, reach out to me and we will start the coaching sessions. Alright guys, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. God bless you. Y'all, don't miss out. Head to powerfulmovementspodcast.com/store and grab your Powerful Movement Podcast merch today. Be bold, be inspired.